And that brings us to the rules of tonight's debate. 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns.
That ABC whistleblowers say that indeed Kamala Harris's campaign had the questions beforehand and did dictate the terms of the debate. Answering the question that we already knew was the fact that this was a rigged debate entirely, 3 against 1 on Trump. Now, if the network itself was involved and not just the host, then that actually means that there's something much deeper going on in the collusion between the mainstream media and the authoritarian left. A whistleblower at ABC has sworn under penalty of perjury the Kamala Harris campaign colluded with ABC News to craft the debate to her liking and even received questions ahead of time. The whistleblower, a 10-year veteran of the outlet, testified in a 6-page affidavit released Sunday that ABC News and other major news organizations no longer adhere to impartiality and warned that the debate would demonstrate more anti-Trump bias. I have noted specific instances related to the debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris that raised concerns about the procedural fairness, the whistleblower wrote on September 9th, the day before the debate. Here are 6 pages of the affidavit for easier sharing. We made an error in the original posting. I duplicated page 5. I would also like to note that there are several pages after the verification page that were specific about the job the whistleblower did and transcript of the confession. Now, according to the whistleblower, the Harris campaign received many particular accommodations from ABC News, including a smaller podium for Harris and fact checks reserved only for Trump.
You ran through some of those things that the moderators were talking about. I think one thing in particular that stuck out to me was Kamala's claim about not having any soldiers at this moment in any kind of combat zone around the world, which is absolutely false. And David Muir knows that it's false. In fact, there's mockery now happening online that people can easily find from literally including soldiers who are in combat zones, including in Syria and elsewhere.
Look at it differently.
They look at it a little differently.
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this century. What? But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
Now, it was agreed that Donald Trump would be subjected to fact-checking during the debate, while Kamala Harris would not face comparable scrutiny. This was widely known throughout the company that Donald Trump would be fact-checked. In fact, various people were assigned to fact-check observations it was perceived candidate Trump would make during the debate. In fact, Harris's campaign required assurances that Donald Trump would be fact-checked. This was done via multiple communications with the Harris campaign, whereas the Trump campaign was not included in the negotiations. And to my understanding, any rules negotiated in conversations pertaining to the debate should have had both the Trump and Harris campaign involved. The Harris campaign had numerous more calls regarding the debate rules without the Trump campaign aware or on the call. It goes on to show exactly here from the affidavit that it was agreed upon. Trump campaign was not included in the negotiations. So this intentional exclusion of Trump is what we should be worried about. It's not wanting to collude that's the biggest issue. It's the collusion plus exclusion that remains the ultimate, testimony of how corrupt the regime has become. And the whistleblower also asserted that Harris campaign was furnished with sample questions that, while not the exact questions, covered similar topics that would appear during the debate. Additionally, the Harris campaign demanded several restrictions on the scope of the questioning. Lastly, the whistleblower claimed ABC News has a pronounced bias against Donald Trump, and employees who support him fear retribution. Trump himself lambasted ABC News on Saturday over its blatant bias against him during the debate, where Kamala was not fact-checked even once, despite peddling several massive and easily disprovable lies. Now, ABC fake news has been completely discredited and is now under investigation. Did they give Comrade Kamala the questions? It was a 3-on-1 against one person of extraordinary genius. It wasn't even close, as is now reflected in the polls. I won the debate, he wrote on Truth Social. Now, ABC News has not yet responded to the veracity of the whistleblower's claims into this writing. Investigative journalist Laura Loomer said today news broke of the affidavit from an ABC whistleblower about ABC News feeding the debate questions to Kamala Harris ahead of time. Then hours later, a mercenary who supports Biden and Harris tried to assassinate President Trump. It is remarkable.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with all of you at home. We begin tonight with the breaking news and the second assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. Authorities before the cameras just moments ago, they say the suspect was hiding in the bushes along Trump's golf course for 12 hours. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns.